Good evening, people. Happy Saturday. As always, I hope you're enjoying your weekend and of good health. Before you do anything, make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all of that, and help my channel grow. You know, life's too busy at the minute for me to be doing anything else, but I keep it consistent, as in coming on every weekend at least to make sure that I discuss our current game, which today we host the Monsters, Liverpool. First and foremost, I'm going to go to the lineups. So I thought we'd be unchanged, but I remembered about Brendan Johnson being injured in the last game. So we have gone with Vicario in goal, Van de Ven and Romero centre halves, Udogie and Porro wing back, so left back and right back, sorry. Sarr and Basuma in midfield, Kulusevski, Maddison, Son on the left and Richarlison up front. We go to Liverpool, who surprisingly have gone without Darwin Núñez. So their front three is Diaz, Gakpo and Salah. Jones, McAllister and Soblitsai, I don't know how to say his name, in midfield. Robertson, Van Dijk, Matip and Gomez. If we go to both sides' benches, if we go to the away side, we've got our Trent, Alexander-Arnold, Jota, Elliott, Endo, Gravenbach, Kelleher, the sub-goalkeeper, Konate, Núñez and Timosak. And on our side, Ben Davies, Donley, Emerson Royal, Fraser Forster, Højbjerg, Phillips, Skip, Solomon and Velez. Surprised not to see Dyer on the bench, but, you know, if you didn't believe the rumours that Dyer was told that go and find another club, that tells you everything. Surprised that Konate isn't playing for Liverpool today. You know, they like to push up and would probably, you know, look to push up and make sure that they've got enough pace should there be the offside trap broken. But, you know, with us having Richarlison up front, probably plays into their hands. You know, I wish Brendan Johnson was fit because he gave us a different dimension. You know, he played all right in the NLD until he came off. It's a tricky one though. I hate, like, if there's a fixture on the calendar apart from playing Arsenal, I hate playing Liverpool. Like, we don't get a result against them. The last time we got a result against them, I was there at Anfield and we got a 2-2 and I was over the moon with that because we got a last minute penalty. And then the other time I can remember of recent times was when they and Lovren had an absolute mare and stunk out the place and we beat them at Wembley. But besides that, I remember the days where they had Suarez and Sturridge and they were beating us 4s and 5s. Whenever we go to their place, you know, last season we pulled it back from 3-0 down to 3-3 and then lost 4-3. Yeah, I don't really like playing Liverpool, but we got to. And now if you look at the results that have happened today, you know, Arsenal have got their win, which I knew they'd win, routine. Surprisingly, Man City have lost to Wolves. You know, now obviously Man City is still going to be the favourites. We all know that they're probably the only team in the league that could go and win 10 on the bounce. Liverpool have been known to do that, and Liverpool feel that if they win today and go top, that gives them a little bit of advantage in the title race, you know, and they're not even getting started. They've only just started to purr, really. So Blitzley, great midfielder. Like, he started off brilliantly. It'd be a great battle between him and Basuma. I think if Liverpool are going to win the game, they would need to keep the possession, because I feel if they let us keep the possession like Arsenal did in the second half, they haven't really got an anchor man. They've got players in there that ain't going to be shy of a tackle, but they haven't got somebody with that, you know, they haven't got that Rodri type player, or, you know, better yet, a Basuma. They've just got someone there that, if they're on the ball, is brilliant in McAllister. We see the pass that he put on for Núñez last weekend, top pass. And, you know, if you've got a number 6 in that position doing that, it's brilliant. So what I think Spurs need to do is do what they did against Arsenal's going to be a different proposition, because Arsenal, the way they pressed against us, they don't do that every week. Whereas Liverpool, that's second nature to them with the coach that they got in Klopp. You know, if you're somebody that don't want to press in a Klopp team, you won't make it. It's as simple as that. It's going to be a good game. You know, it's going to be end-to-end. You know, my cousin supports Liverpool, and I said to him, it's going to be a mad game. It's going to be end to end. I can't imagine either team sitting off. If I was going to go for a score prediction, my head is where I'm smartest with my predictions. I'll probably go with a 3-2 Liverpool. I can just see them edging it. I think they've got a bit more firepower on the bench. You know, if they bring on a Jota, you know, Nunes or both, should we be losing or drawing, I feel they can capitalise on that. Whereas we've got, you know, the only person I could think of that might do the trick is Solomon, who's an industrious winger, but is he going to get the winner? I'm not too sure. And Velez, the only hope I've got is if he comes on unknown on quantity and shoots. But yeah, I think if I go with my heart, it'd be a Desmond again like last week. Possibly just for the sheer fact that we don't get a result against Liverpool. But like I said, Man City have just lost. You know, Villa and Arsenal have had good results. Whoever, you know, if there's going to be a winner in this game, they'll be looking to push on and try and mount a challenge for the title. You know, Tottenham don't historically do it, but if you go and beat Liverpool, you know, you're second in the league. Liverpool win at their top. So it should be an interesting game. No, neither team will want to draw. I think if we do draw, it'd be more Tottenham wanting to win the draw just to end the rut. But should be an interesting game. Nervous. I ain't really nervous because we always lose to him, so it's not really nerves. Whereas Arsenal, it's more like you don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, I'm going to stick with my prediction of a 3-2 Liverpool, hoping for a 2-2, and if we win, I'll go bonkers. But yeah, I'll see you guys at half time with a brief analysis on what's happening there. So let's go. Come on, you Spurs. Jacob on the one up top. Yes, people. It's half time. Tottenham Hotspur 1, Liverpool 1. Mad game. You know, the first thing I want to talk about is the sending off. You know, if I'm honest, when I watched it, the problem with VAR is they don't play it in real time, because when I looked at it in real time, I thought, yeah, it's a yellow card, and you know, the proverbial orange card. I thought, yeah, you know what, I get it. But then when they slow it down, it's like when you slow it down, all of a sudden your mind goes, well, that's a red then, because you see him do that in slow motion. You see Basuma's leg bend. All of a sudden, you're like, well, that's a red. You know, Liverpool fans are probably looking at that saying that's an orange card. But then again, if it was the other way around and Basuma does that to Curtis Jones, I'm sure they'd want a red as well. So it's VAR that's the problem. Like, you don't slow that down, because it wasn't happening that quick. You know, Basuma and Curtis Jones went in at the same time. I believe what Gary Neville said about his foot slipping on it, and unfortunately him slipping on top of the ball is caused that. You know, I don't think he meant no harm, but then when you go over the top of the ball, that's the thing that you risk. However, I said it to my son, because he was like, "Oh, we should win the game now," and I said, "Nah." When Liverpool played Newcastle, I remember watching that game thinking, what are Newcastle doing? And, you know, Newcastle, you'd like to think in the round, people were looking at Newcastle and Spurs competing. So when we took the lead, I was still cautious. You know, if we were playing probably any other team in the league, I'll be jumping around thinking, go on, go for 2, go for 3, go for 4. But then before we scored, Luis Diaz scored that goal. And for me, I don't know, I need to look at the angle again. I thought that was a goal. Even when they were slowing it down, I was like, 1-0 Liverpool. And they were like, offside. I was like, really? If I'm honest, you know, as being a football fan, referees having a mare today. Like, you know, we can, you know, because Basuma's leg bent like that, you kind of think, all right, cool. And we've seen red cards there before. But I need to look at that goal again. It was a bit weird. But, you know, we get the goal. You know, Richarlison did what I was crying for out the whole game. Play on the shoulder and move in. The one time he does it, Maddison finds him. Good team goal. But you're looking at it now, you're thinking, them last 5 minutes, we looked like we had 10 men. And, you know, Gakpo being injured, even though he scored, is a problem, because Darwin Núñez is somebody that, you know, people are not talking about being prolific, but he will run them channels. He will harass you. He will be dogged, and he will score. You know what I mean? He started off this season all right, so we've got to be really careful, you know, and just got to get into the boys, because I generally think that when we went 1-0 up, you know, we're playing all the nice football, passing it around, you know, the fans are doing it olays, but if I was there, I'd be nervous, because Liverpool have done this before. They've done it to Newcastle at the beginning of the season. They're resilient. You know, Klopp's teams ain't teams that are prepared to say that they've lost. So we got to be careful. You know, Salah's been causing a lot of problems. You know, if I want to, Mickey van der Ven's been solid, but we've got to be alert in this half because realistically, if we get to the point where we sleep and decide that, you know, because we've got 10 men, we're going to do it. If we don't take our chances, Liverpool will, because, you know, we saw with the Diaz goal that was ruled offside, took that emphatically. Salah, he loves playing against Tottenham. I think if we're going to win the game, we need to get Maddison in them number 10 positions right next to Son all the time, because, you know, we saw it against Arsenal in the first half. Maddison wasn't dropping as deep this game, but he's been involved in that. You know, when we see that through ball for Richarlison, that's what Maddison. If Maddison's doing that sort of 5-6 times in that second half, we probably score a couple of goals. You know, if it stays the same way it is, you know, you probably introduce Solomon. You know, Richarlison's done okay, but we need an actual winger just to spread the game. So, yeah, it's a tricky one, because Liverpool probably the only team in the league, like I said, that I feel that when they go down to 10 men, I'm still nervous. And because we play this team, we never have any luck with them. I think we need to come out the block second half. Ange needs to give him a rollicking. We need to not take time with it now. And I think the equaliser might help us, because I think if we went in there 1-0, we'd still be trying to hold on to that lead. And Liverpool on the counter are dangerous. They're always dangerous. You know, they're still going to play with that front three. They just got one less in midfield. So we've got to be mindful of that counter-attack. But, you know, the game's been a good game. Red cards probably spoiled it. Has it turned it in our favour? At first, I thought it might have, but the way Liverpool are, it feels like we're still playing 11 men. So we'll see how it goes in the second half. We've just got to maintain the pressure and understand that we've got to get that second goal and the third, because when we were 1-0 up, if we'd got a second, I'd be a bit more confident. But, you know, Liverpool come into the game, realistically, could have been 2-1 up. So we'll see how it goes second half. We've got to maintain the mentality. Udogi's on the yellow cards, which I'm a bit mindful of, because all it takes is one silly challenge and it's 10 versus 10. If it goes 10 versus 10, then I'll call it a day. So we'll see how it goes at full time, guys. Love. Jacob on the one on top. Yes, people. I've managed to calm myself down to be able to give you an analysis, because that was hectic. Final result, Tottenham 2, Liverpool 1. Now, what I always do, unless it's Arsenal, is talk about the opposition. Now, realistically, Liverpool deserve to come out there with a draw. Like, it got to the point where even with 9 men, I'm like, hold up, how are they finding gaps? 10 men, they were finding gaps. Like, it was mad, you know. So I'm going to sit there and commend Liverpool first and foremost. I'm somebody that, you know, I'm not going to run away with my emotions and stuff. Like, they shouldn't have had me on edge. You know, if I like to think if we was in the North London derby last week and Arsenal went down to 9 men, if we played United early in the season, they went down to 9 men. You know, any other club, maybe bar Man City, I'll be like, yeah, I want 4 or 5 now. But Liverpool had me on edge. You know, it got to the point where, imagine, 90th minute, I'm sat there and my son's asking me if I'm all right, because I must have looked so stressed. So, you know, we got to commend Liverpool, because they showed the Premier League in terms like how to play with 9 men and how to play with 10 men. That's, you know, if Tottenham go down to 10 men, I'd go as far as saying, like, we ain't going to win the game unless we're winning 3 or 4-0. So, anyway, shout out Liverpool. But I think, you know, I'm going to be real. When we scored that winner, I went nuts. I went absolutely bonkers. You know, I had my son in the air, going wild. And it's probably because we didn't deserve to get it. And if Joel Matip didn't score that goal, we wouldn't have. So I'm over the moon with the result, you know, because we always don't beat Liverpool, you know. I'll be real with it. You know, even though we didn't deserve it, I think that's more reason why I went nuts. That's the reason why my voice has gone. You know, we don't beat Liverpool. And, you know, if Liverpool can do that with 9 or 10 men against a team that's purring like ours, fair play to them. But we needed that win because, it's not like, there's a lot of fans who talk about title race and all this stuff. It's 8 games, man. Like, I understand why you would talk about the title race because we're now jumped into second, point behind Man City. Man City playing Arsenal next week. And if my memory serves me correct, I think we've got Luton. So, imagine if Arsenal beat Man City by a narrow margin, we beat Luton, all of a sudden you're top of the league. But, I'm not going to get carried away because, Man City fans, Liverpool fans, Arsenal fans of the past, United fans of the past, Chelsea, they'll tell you the league ain't won in the first quarter. It ain't even won in the second quarter. The third quarter is when you start considering it. The fourth quarter is when you do it. We look at Arsenal last season. They were 9 points clear with a game in hand. But 10 games to go. What happened? They lost the league. It's like, these games are important, to build momentum and get the goals. But, there's still slight bits of concern because I think Liverpool found out that, if Tottenham aren't allowed to play through the middle, we run out of ideas. It got to the point where, luckily, we got the own goal, but then it took us like 20 minutes to figure out that you got to get it wide. We all know in football, if someone goes down to 10 men, spread the play, and it felt like we're still trying to do the same things going through the middle. But it's one of those, like, if I did a video 15 minutes ago, I'd probably be a little bit too gassed. But I thought to myself, I was jumping around, I've got my son in the air, I'm kissing my daughter, gassing up my mum and all that. But I thought, nah, don't do a video then, because if I did a video 15 minutes ago, I'll probably say we're going to win a league. But, it's one of those. 1, 8 games in. 2, it's Tottenham. And 3, you just got to enjoy each day as it comes. The coach that we played against just now, Klopp, Liverpool, there's one point, I think there was like 15 points clear in the league when they won it. And he kept saying 1 game at a time. And that's the way you got to look at these games. You got to look 1 game at a time. There's no point in getting gassed after 8 games. There's no point getting gassed after 18 games. Start getting gassed when you've got to win 1 more game to win the whole thing. So, I'm not going to sit there and say Tottenham in a title challenge. All I'm going to say is that Tottenham are in a good place. And I think the reason why, me as a Spurs fan and a lot of others that I know are gassed is because we were underwhelmed by the fact that we've brought in a manager from Celtic, hasn't really done much in the game is what we thought. We sold Harry Kane. We brought some good players in, some not. But then it's like, the manager's done a good job. But like I always say to people, a manager doesn't go from a Celtic manager to a world-class manager in 8 games. He goes into a top elite manager campaign after campaign. And this is his first campaign. So it could get better. It could get worse. We have to judge Ange and the players at the end of the season because we've got a small squad. Injuries permitting can cause issues. But, if you come to me now, not now, sorry, at the beginning of the season and looked at the fixture list, I'd have pointed out United, Arsenal and Liverpool and said, I'll be happy to get 3 points out of that, draw them all and beat everybody else somehow. But the fact that we've beat United at home, which we don't do all the time, Liverpool, apart from the Degsy Lovren moment, I can't even remember the last time we beat Liverpool before that. I think it was a 4-0. Adebayor, Modric goals, and Charlie Adam was playing for them. That's how long ago it was when we beat them at home. And in a way, I think it was Van der Vaart winner. Again, Charlie Adam was probably playing. So it's one of those where we don't get the luck against Liverpool. So with the fact that we don't really beat Liverpool, the fact that we needed to win the game, the fact that Liverpool went down to 9 men, and again, is a little bit suspect the way they went down to 9 men because Jota didn't foul Dogi in the first place. But at the same time, he should have known that he got a dodgy yellow card and did the second thing, booked. So I feel for Diego Jota. And to be honest, like I said, the foul in the first half, the way I play football, it's an orange card, yellow card, if you're going to do a yellow or red. But the way the football's going now, they slow it down, it's a red, You already know, when you're watching it in slow-mo, I was like, yeah, booking, fair play, ref. As soon as Gary Neville said, it's going to the video, I knew he's going to get sent off. That's just how it goes. And if it was role reversed with Basuma doing that, I'd like to think that Liverpool fans would call for the same. Even whether it's fair or not, the way that VAR is going, that's how it is. But yeah, good victory, man. I'm going to go and enjoy time with my kids and my mum. Get a takeaway, probably go to the shop and get a couple more beers. And enjoy the victory, man. It wasn't the greatest victory in terms of the facts of all the, the circumstances. But if someone said to me, you're going to beat Liverpool dodgily or beat Liverpool convincingly, don't care. Just beat them, because we never do. So yeah, signing off. Jacob 101 up top. Look out midweek. I'm going to be doing another Only Fools in Tottenham. Love. Come on, you Spurs.